The 2020 school year is just around the corner, but it's going to be a year like none other with social distancing, smaller classes, online learning. We know that you have questions about how it's all going to work. So 3 Guilford County school leaders are here to answer them. We have Dr. Tony Wallington, Chief of Schools, Dr. Whitney Oakley, Chief Academic Officer, and Angie Henry, Chief Operations Financial Officer. So what we want you to do is, if you have questions, we want you to send us a text, 336-379-5775. They're going to be here until 6 o'clock tonight. But remember, this is a text-only questions. Text-only questions. You cannot call them in. All right. So let's start from the very beginning, and there are many, many questions. I'm going to try and direct them to who I think needs to answer, but you guys feel free in passing it to one or the other. So the first question I'm thinking is Dr. Oakley. It says, will teachers be held accountable for making sure that they're helping students with e-learning activities, and how will that be done?
Yes, teachers will be held accountable for making sure they're participating in e-learning activities. Much like when we're doing face-to-face instruction, there are strategies for principals to do drop-in observations, to receive feedback on lesson planning, and that would continue in the remote learning space. Teachers can also get feedback from master teachers, preview plans ahead of time with their administrators and their support staff, and that would continue in the virtual environment.
Dr. Waltington, this I believe is for you. If students do return to the classroom, can you talk more about the district plans to respond if a student or students get COVID and then spread it inside the classroom or school?
Certainly. So we would work with our public health department on how we need to do our contact tracing and what we need to do as far as cleaning and disinfecting the buildings, and advising staff on who needs to isolate and who needs to quarantine if that happens in our school.
And I know that they said that there were certain protocols that would be done. The Department of Health and Human Services says there was an extensive list of different protocols that would be done. Okay, this next question is, if and when they go back to school part-time or full-time, will the ACES program be available for those that have always been enrolled in it?
So the reopening of ACES and any other extra programs that are not part of the instructional core planning program will have to be a part of what we decide when we return to school. Our focus right now is on the core instructional program. We are not certain that we would be able to offer after school programming because of cleaning protocols that would need to take place. However, we are confident that we will need our ACES staff members to help us as we plan for reentry and to provide additional instructional support. We are partnering with local agencies, faith-based partners, and community organizations so that we're able to connect parents with other after-school options should we not be able to provide them ourselves.
Okay, and this person is asking about teachers. Will they be wearing masks, face shields, and things of that nature?
Yes, we will be having teachers wear masks unless they qualify for one of the exemptions. Also, we have face shields available if teachers request one, and they will be available for them to wear as well, but those will not be required.
Okay. We know that the vote is supposed to come down on July the 28th, but someone is asking, will teachers be able to put in what they think should happen? Is there a time for that to be happening?
Well, teachers have been invited to participate in a survey. We continue to get feedback from teachers through July 28th, whenever the superintendent will continue her recommendations to the Board of Education.
Okay, so teachers should be able to have that input somewhere. There's several comments here from teachers. So if it's something that they don't know as of yet, where do they go for that?
Absolutely. We always welcome teacher feedback, and they continue to communicate through their principals. They have the opportunity to complete a survey. Some are submitting direct feedback via email, text, or phone calls. And we're certainly open to all of those modes of feedback.
So someone is asking, will there be consideration given to reopening scenarios that allow for some in-person instruction for high schoolers if they choose?
The superintendent shared 3 recommendations with the Board of Education. One was to have grades K through 8 and possibly K through 9 to be in session daily whenever school does ultimately resume. Another option was to have some students in schools split the students into 2 groups, with one group coming 2 days a week and getting 3 days of remote instruction, and the same happening with the second group of students. And certainly the third option that the superintendent proposed was for students to attend classes on alternate weeks, which could include a broader group of students being able to be in school. The preferred option, of course, was option 1, where we focus on grades K through 8 and possibly K through 9, and have our seniors to do remote learning, our high school students to do remote learning, and perhaps consider some GTCC college courses under our career and college program.
Again, there are 3 different scenarios being discussed and talked about, plans A, B, and C. We are continuing to take your text questions, and the number is 336-379-5775. As we go to break, we're going to put up those 3 different scenarios so that you can see what that is, and so that you'll be able to kind of take a look at it, digest it for a little bit if this is maybe the first time that you've seen the reopening plans and what they entail. So that you'll be able to maybe even better form your question the next segment around.